We finally made it. Finally made it. Y'all now tune in to One for the Road. I'm Cash Kai. Here we gonna kick it, talk some sports. None more, none less. We gonna get right into it. So during the NFL offseason, it's a lot of these top player lists coming out. The NFL got a real popular one they've been doing for the last several years, maybe about like 7, 8 years going back. If my memory's serving me correctly, about it's a fan player voted list, the top 100 players of the NFL. That's a real popular one with peers vote on their players. Pick the top 100 guys. They poll the league of guys, and then they end up putting a list out at the end of the season. In the offseason, they pushing content around that time. All these different media outlets, we ain't gonna get nobody no free promo, but like I said, basically everybody has a list. But it was one particular list I seen today. Like, I've been seeing them all season. But it was one particular list I seen today. It was a top 10 list, and it just was all over the place for me. Okay, I understand Patrick Mahomes universally seen as the number one quarterback in the NFL. I mean, in my opinion, is he the best to this date? We're going to get into my list in a second. Let's just keep going. Don't let me jump the gun real quick. But anyways, though, yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at anybody having Mahomes first on their list. I mean, that's a given. But then the list is followed, I want to say, was Josh Allen second, Joe Burrow third, Lamar Jackson fourth. I want to say maybe it was like Jalen Hurts fifth. I'm not sure if Jalen Hurts is on the list, but so on and so forth. It was some guys on the list that shouldn't have been there, some guys that I feel like get overpub. But I mean, hey, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own way of ranking things, but I never hold it against nobody. But here on One for the Road, like I like to say, we give it from my point of view, my perspective. So what I want to do is get into my list. We're going to do a top 5. I ain't want to take up too much time. Again, it is the off season, but I'm going to go through my list, and then we're going to rap a little bit about it. So you see, here we go, bam. Personally, when I rank players, it don't matter what sport it is. I rank them based on a couple things. Individual performance, it's a given, duh. But I'm saying, like, as you're ranking players, that is the number one thing that I hold in my ranking tier system, is that said individual performance. Now, it's some context provided to that, because I know a lot of people that say right there, well, if this individual played, we got to remember, in team games, specifically football, we cannot use team accomplishments, or I don't like to use team accomplishments to judge individual player rankings, because at the end of the day, that player can only pretty much do his job. You know what I mean? So I base that on how well said player does his job. How do we rank that in real time? Stats, accolades, accomplishments. Those individual statistics and accolades, in my opinion, take over like they override, and that should be what is used to judge these players. Now, I know a lot of times, like for instance, Patrick Mahomes is universally ranked as the number one quarterback in the NFL. Like I said, I'm not gonna be mad at nobody that wants to say that, because it's enough facts based on different people saying things and the way they see things, that, come on, it's more than fair. The guy's a 3-time champion. It's like, I mean, the floor of his career is the AFC Championship game. It don't get no, like, lower than that. But again, the Super Bowls, championship game appearances, that's not exactly an individual statistic. You know what I mean? Like, some people don't like to judge quarterback wins as a stat. Me, I'm like, I feel it, like, because again, that's a team thing. One quarterback not going out there and playing against all 11 players on defense, and then he flipping around going on defense and then guarding all 11 positions on the defensive side of the ball. So again, it's like you got to factor that in. Now, granted, I would never rank somebody highly up. I mean, come on, you got to be what they say, the old players say, to make the clubs, you got to be in the tub to make the club. You can't make the club from the tub. That's what I'm going to say. So you got to be in a dance. Like, you can't get a dance if you ain't at the dance from the parking lot. You know what I mean? So pretty much, like, with a grain of salt, of course, that's taken into consideration. But again, like I said, I choose individual performance, accolades, and then that is kind of like a booster if it's close or just to shore up some things. So again, personally, I have Lamar Jackson at the top of my list. I mean, let's just get into it. Two-time MVP. In my personal opinion, he should have won MVP again this year. Granted, they gave it to Josh Allen. I can't be mad at him. He had a hell of a season for sure. But to me, it's just weird. Like the first team All-Pro quarterback normally wins the MVP award. So that just lets you know how good of a season that he did have ultimately. But yeah, like I said, multiple time MVP. Every year that he's finished, his team was in the playoffs. Even the one year that he went out hurt, they still end up getting to the playoffs. I believe Tyler Huntley ended up playing against the Bengals. But, I mean, like I said, the guy's a winner. Just nobody plays the position from my eye test. If you were to find some aliens and put them on Earth and turn on this footage and just show them players, Lamar Jackson do things on a football field that you just can't describe. Like, I mean, I had some experience. We ain't talking about myself here, but I played ball growing up, little league, high school, college. Like, I know what it looked like. I ain't get to the highest level. My brother did. Like I said, we ain't talking about me. I just know what certain things look like. You know what I mean? And like I said, in my opinion, Lamar just does things on a football field that you can't quantify, like all stats can't quantify. It's kind of like the Steph Curry effect on the basketball court. Like stats can't quantify the amount of impact that he have on the game, just due to different coverages, just the amount of eyes you have to put on them at certain times, just the different things that they're capable of doing that other athletes aren't able to do, that just sets them apart in like my estimation. But yeah, again, like getting back into Lamar, like I said, had a great season. Ravens got off to like a little rocky start, lost a couple games, but finished strong. Put up 4,000 passing yards, low interception rate. Like he's all career highs across the board. Completion percentage. He's just doing his thing right now. And consistently, he's there. Two-time MVP. Like I said again, could have won the third, first team All-Pro. And that's to say that again, these rankings, in my opinion, is based on the NFL season starting tomorrow. These guys I'm ranking them, in my opinion, who I think I would choose 1 through 5 as the best going into individually a game tomorrow. But yeah, again, like I said, Lamar's been dynamic since he stepped in the league, but just being able to do different things, take his game up. Passer rating. This year, I think he finished with like the third highest passer rating of all time behind Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning. Like, they said he couldn't throw a couple years ago. This guy was supposed to like potentially be a running back or a receiver. That's to say that everybody that's talent evaluating don't always know, exactly what they talking about, but that's neither here nor there. Nobody's perfect. But yeah, again, like just a little bit more to expand on what I was saying about Jack. Played good in my estimation again in the playoffs this year. Put his team in a position to win. Ultimately, they did not. But again, it's a team game. You can't use exactly, in my opinion, team accomplishments to rank individual players. So by my estimation, like I said, due to the high offensive output, just scoring the ball, running the ball, I want to say Lamar had the highest yardage per carry in the NFL this season from the quarterback spot. Like, it's just amazing numbers that he's putting up. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like video game numbers. And my estimation, what he's doing, both passing the ball and running the ball, is just at a level that nobody else in the league is doing. Taking that in consideration from the progress that he's made every year since being in the league, he's getting better. Does he have to win a championship? Of course. Any player that's that great, you got to get the job done. But give him some time, man. Kid got time. Well, not the kid. He a grown-ass man, but y'all know what I mean. Give him some time. He got time to get there. Again, and ultimately say, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't look into the future, but let's just say it's a scenario that plays out. Hypothetically, he played X amount of years and don't end up with a championship. Would you still not rank him as one of the best quarterbacks you've ever seen to play the game? Like, yes, we can get into guys who didn't win championships. It's a bunch of them. Not a bunch of them that's ranked up highly, but it's guys that didn't win a championship ultimately Dan Marino is one that we think of. He's often ranked in the top 10 quarterbacks of all time. So I could see a path for Lamar if he didn't end up with that championship as still ultimately being like a top 10 guy of all time. But that's neither here nor there. That's way down the line, just I don't know, providing a little bit more context. But again, just to tie it all in a bow, like from my perspective, he's the number one quarterback in the league. And I'm looking forward to what he has going on this upcoming season. So second on my list, we have Josh Allen. Wait, hold on. Is it a way like we could kind of clean that little part up and shit? I feel like I broke too much right there. Okay, so second on my list going into the next season, I got Josh Allen. Josh Allen, MVP, got his first one in. Shouts out to that boy, man. He had a great season last year. Can't take nothing away from him. Got his team to the AFC Championship game. Big boy performances. He went into the season losing a lot of his weapons. He lost Stephon Diggs. Said he didn't have any weapons for real. He had a younger Keon Coleman coming out of Florida State. I'm excited to see what he can do this year. Khalil Shaker was his like number one option for real. But they had Dalton Knox, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook is a dog in the backfield. You know what I mean? So they do got a hellified offensive line, but just flat out, Josh don't have the weapons that other guys do. I mean, and that in itself is something that I regard high because again, you putting up great production and the table ain't set as well as everybody else's, but you still able to capitalize and deliver and get your team to AFC Championship games. He's another one he got to get over the top. Do I think he will? Yeah, but I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, it's a team game. Like I didn't even bring up in the case of Lamar, like how the playoffs went for them this year, X, Y, and Z, because I didn't want to like too far get into that. With Josh, I'm bringing up more of the team aspect of because to highlight his greatness, we didn't have a whole. Don't I hate? Side note, I hate when people try to make like, oh, he didn't have anything around him. Like he didn't like no. He has some guys playing with him. Like, do we have a host of first team All Pros? No. But he don't got a bunch of bums playing with him. Like, he got more than serviceable options. But what I can say, his slate of weapons aren't as good as the other top guys, in my opinion. If you look at Mahomes, even Mahomes' cast from last year, Lamar's cast, Joe's cast, I would even say C.J. Stroud, like, down in Houston, I mean, I don't got to get into the rest of these guys, but he clearly don't. His weapons ain't at the level of the other guys that's top as far as the pecking order as quarterback in the league, and he dominated. Like you got to give it to him. He got his team a sniff away from the bowl. Like what more can you ask from him? MVP season. And just like I said, watching all the games in the film last year, in my estimation, he was the second best. I know I might catch some slack for that, like, oh, he should have been the best. I know Bills Mafia is crazy. My brother played for Buffalo for a couple years, so I had a chance to get to some games, experience a little bit of the Bills Mafia. Like it's vibes, it's dope out there for sure. But so I don't care if I piss y'all off, but I wouldn't sniff at being second. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with it. I feel like most people most likely rank Josh second anyway going into, like, most quarterback lists, maybe behind Mahomes. But, again, it's to take nothing away from him. He's a hell of a ball player. He had a great season, and I'm expecting big things from him again next year. Third on my list, I have Patrick Mahomes. We started out talking about him a little bit, but, again, that's like the poster boy of the league. We all know it. He's the guy. He's just a winner, man. He gets the job done. He's another one, like I would say more so last year, which would honestly be more remarkable because they won the Super Bowl. They had a little bit like less of weaponry around them when they ended up winning that year, but came back this year, didn't get it done against the Eagles. But hey, again, it's ultimately a team game. I feel like they wasn't well coached in that game. Like I didn't like Andy Reid's game plan at all. That ain't to get into too far into that, but like again, I just didn't think Pat could have played better in the Super Bowl for sure. I mean, I don't know how many times we've seen Pat Mahomes with multiple turnovers in the playoff games, let alone a pick six. It wasn't like himself, but again, did kind of feel like he was pressing a little bit. And honestly, to me, even like I said, that's why he would slide back down to that third slot, in my opinion, as far as top 5 quarterbacks in the game right now. Because over the last couple of seasons, I can like say that I just feel like ultimately, like specifically, like last couple regular seasons, it just haven't looked the same from Pat. Like the results are there in the end, but in my estimation, that comes from it being a complete team game. It's more of a whole picture you got to look at when we talk about the Chiefs. They have championship experience. They've been there since Mahomes. It's been good. Uh, Before he was there, they were an ascending team. They were quite literally one piece away. I remember the playoff meltdown versus the Colts, but they were still there. Andy Reid has been a career guy at the head coach position. I mean, he had the Eagles in contention every year. He had them in a bowl. Couldn't get over the top, but he's a hella fat coach. Like, they got a good setup. Kelsey there, Hall of Fame tight end. Like, I don't want to get too much into it, but the reason why I have Pat slid down a little bit at third is because, like I said, he haven't exactly looked the same over the last couple regular seasons, and that's a big part of the equation to me because more so when you get into the playoffs, what I was kind of just hinting at before, they've been there. They got the coach. They got the best defensive coordinator in the league. They got Chris Jones. They got all good players at all 3 levels of their position, all 3 levels of defense, like at each position. Got a couple guys at linebacker, Nick Bowden, dog. Leo Chenal running around, dog. Like I'm just saying, like athletic type. Like they don't have scrubs. Trent McDuffie on the back end. Like they got guys, bro. And when you're in that point for so long, everybody's locked in. You got that mojo. It's something about what they call it the heart of a champion. Just like, I don't mean to get off topic, but like Golden State Warriors in basketball or some of the dynasties, the Bulls when they were good. Just the Patriots, back to Tom Brady in those days. It's a lot of times teams lost to the mystique of those guys just because teams weren't the best prepared. Like their minds were out of it going into the game, or just the pressure of the game. People don't understand. Like I know fans at home. Like I said, I wasn't a pro ball player, but I played long enough to at least know what it's like to be in pressure and feel just the severity and the heights of different games. You got some ball players that rise to the occasion. You got some that shrink, and that's just not at the quarterback position. That is the whole team involved. I mean, like, hate to get off top, but a couple years ago when the Chiefs and Ravens played in the AFC Championship game, I know a lot of people like to bring that up to kind of talk Lamar and say like he wasn't playing good in the playoffs. In my opinion, when you judge quarterbacks, you got to play good enough for your team to win. Nobody's going to play perfect. In the playoffs, it's more everything's heightened. Like the pressure, the game is much faster. The pace of the game is faster. Each decision means so much more. So like I said, for example, a couple years ago in that game, like it was mistakes made by the Ravens and countless personal fouls on defense cost them in that game. Zay Flowers fumble, just different things that you don't see from a championship team like the Chiefs because they've been in that position before. It's been other times, like everybody likes to say, oh, the Chiefs get all these breaks or they're lucky or they're the NFL's team. Oh, they just don't crack under pressure. It's something to say about that championship experience. But at the same time, the point that I'm trying to make is, as a whole, it's a team game. So if one guy's producing at one level and his team around him not living up to that expectation, or they not delivering, or they faltering also, that said team will not win a championship because it's a total effort. On the other side of the coin, if this team is hitting on all cylinders or make the right plays in certain key situations, it's not a one guy out there leading the chart. No, it's everybody incorporated. You know what I mean? So that's just, in my opinion, the Chiefs have been getting by in the playoffs the last couple of years based on that fact alone. It's not 100% solely on Patrick Mahomes. Is he great? Duh. Like, I don't got to tell you that. Like, you know this. Anybody that has watched football understands the man is great. But what I'm saying is, personally, guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, personally, individually, are playing at a higher level. I hate to say this because it's such a hypothetical thing to say, but it's just like if you put guy on this team and put this guy on this team, what would the results be? If you put Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson on the Chiefs, they wouldn't have a couple Super Bowls also. If you put Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs, could I dare argue that they might have won more Super Bowls? Think about it. Both of these guys are more dynamic athletes from the running standpoint than a Patrick Mahomes is. What happened in those two Super Bowl losses? Pressure was getting in on him. Offensive line faltered. He was scrambling around, running for his life, trying to make plays in both games. Under pressure, making Mahomesian-like plays, as they like to say. So, I mean, like, this year alone, I don't know. Like, this is all hypothetically speaking, but in my estimation, if you put Josh Allen behind that center taking the snaps in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs, I mean, who knows how it turned out. Same for Lamar. Now, again, it's a ridiculous thing to kind of say because it's all hypothetical, but I'm just trying to hammer home the point that I feel like these guys and their skill sets have been just at a higher level than Patrick Mahomes individually the last couple years. I mean, you could look at the stats to back it up. That's that. But I just tried to provide a little context there. It might have been a little off the whatever, but hey, that's what you get with one for the road. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he's still a guy. I ain't taking nothing away from him. But like I said, that's why I have those two guys ahead of him for right now. The fourth quarterback I have ranked is Joe Burrow. Now, it's been a lot of discourse, a hell of a lot of discourse around Joe Burrow right now. Bengals haven't made the playoffs the last 2 years, if I'm thinking correctly. He's kind of injury prone. Kind of at this point. I can't say he injury prone, but if you miss seasons, more than one season with an injury or chunks of a season due to injury, you might get the label. But that's not to say, I mean, that boy kicked ass last year. Joe had a hell of a year last year, man. Like, it was like 7-something games in a row, 250 passing yards, 2+ touchdowns. I mean, he was like a fantasy football parlay demigod or something last year. Whatever they be saying, like the man was going off last year. Needless to say, the man was going off. But what we do on One for the Road, we just get right to it. So that's what I'm gonna do when assessing that. Joe Burrow is for sure a top 5 quarterback in the league. Yes, but my problem is that he constantly in these lists. If you were to do like a poll of these lists, like a mean average, a mean of the list, he coming in at like a 2 to 3 range, and I ain't hearing it because I ain't trying to take nothing away from him, but I don't want to say like it's damn near like the years when Matthew Stafford was when they was putting up Matthew Stafford or whatever, he was putting up them empty ass numbers, or like Dak Prescott, the king of empty numbers, but we ain't even gonna get into that. But yeah, Joe, he get it done. Like, and then the thing is like, again, it's winning and losing and stuff like that is a team game, like I harped on earlier. So I ain't gonna contradict myself and try to say like the fact that they ain't been in the playoffs the last couple years, the X, Y, and Z, to try to take that away from him. Even though some of these other quarterbacks, if that was the case for them, they would be held to that standard. But y'all know how to go. We ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, I mean, like, just from the standpoint of my criticism and why I'm saying like Joe's is down, or I'm not putting him over those guys, because I mean, shit, I don't understand how it could be like a slap in the face or a disrespect or a slight to be ranked as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it's only 32 of them in the world. So to be ranked in the top 5, I don't see, but fan bases is crazy, but I don't care. They can see me in the comments. That's neither here nor there. We can talk about it. But anyways, though, yeah, like, back on Joe, again, he's a hell of a player, like, but in these games specifically, he's making plays that's costing the Bengals the game. So it's just like, okay, team didn't make the playoffs, cool. It's a team game. But then if you go back and look at a couple of the games this year that they lost, mind you, they missed it. Their season came down to they was on the last leg. So they needed to win that last game of the season and then have some teams lose to possibly get in. I think they needed to win and then like the Broncos to lose, or like Dolphins. It was some of that type of scenario, but neither here nor there. Yeah, Joe. He. You look at the stat sheet, and it'll be like 350, 2, 3, 4 tubs. But then you see the pick interception or like a fumble or something. You go back and look at the context of them plays. Like when they played the Ravens, I mean, you're up. Turn the ball over, Ravens come back, they end up winning the game. If he don't turn the ball over there, they win the game. You win that game, your team might end up in the playoffs. That is it wasn't like a wrong route. You know what I mean? In my estimation, it was just a bad play. He just get a little greedy sometimes. It's just a nitpicking thing. Like, we rank in the top of the top. So, again, it's like, I ain't pooping on the man. He's a top 5 quarterback. I got him ranked 4th. But I'm just saying these are the details, some of the reasons why, like I said, the reason why I'm ranking him where I'm ranking him. But, yeah, for sure. Just certain times in the game, he might get a little greedy, take a bad sack, trying to extend the play, looking for his guys to, I don't know. Like I said, it's been times in the game where he's cost his team. Like, at the end of the game, it's not noticed because it's lost in between the lines. But again, like, ball is my favorite sport. I love all sports, but I don't watch nothing like I watch that football. I'm not a guy that look at the box sheet and just gonna tell you the games. That's why, in my opinion, when I do the show, I'm not gonna have no stats up and because to me that ain't like, I'm giving my raw take, raw emotion. Anything that I say that is factually not true, which it ain't gonna be a lot of, because like I said, I watch this stuff, but if I misspeak, miss something here and there, hold me to that in the comments. Like, you know what I mean? I like to test my knowledge because, like I said, I love this ball stuff. So, I'm gonna give it to y'all off the cuff. It's gonna be straight to the get. But like I said, let's side tangent, but back to the list. So yeah, Joe, like I said, that's just some of the reasons why. Like I said, it's a couple in big games this season, specifically that I watched, specifically that Ravens game, because I was there. I attended the game, so I saw myself how that went. And Lamar pull off the comeback. But yeah, just a little couple plays here and there that I feel like he just got to make if you that guy. And another thing, that Super Bowl appearance has expired. It expired. I hate when they bring that up because, again, I keep saying this. Y'all going to always hear me say this in terms of ranking players. Like, your team making it to the Super Bowl X amount of years ago, 2021, don't make you the third or the second best quarterback in the league in 2025, bro. No. He made to the Super Bowl, yes. But truth be told, if he played better in the damn Super Bowl, they would have won. Like, that's what I'm like. To me, it's irritating. Like, certain guys get certain graces that other guys don't get. Like when Jalen Hurts lost the Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes a couple years ago, you had people saying, like, not giving him credit for making it to the Super Bowl. Wait, hold on. Let's just say this. He for damn sure wasn't getting credit for making it to the Super Bowl like Joe Burrow was. Because Jalen Hurts coming off a Super Bowl win, he's been there twice. But the years following, when they coming off that Super Bowl appearance, Jalen Hurts was not ranked in these lists because he made it to the Super Bowl. So it's like, why is Joe Burrow giving that grace? I don't know, but I'm here to say, if we could talk about it. I don't care if you Joe, like I said, ain't no offense, nothing. If you his people, damn it, if you a Bengals fan, if you another media member, one of these former quarterbacks who was bums, but I'm sorry, just get on my nerves when you see these dudes on here like, okay, we gonna get to a list. Another side note. Our side note sometimes. When these guys always say, or people say, they ain't played a game, so how they qualified to be on TV talking about the game? My boy, you didn't play the game that good, damn it. I ain't trying to, like I said, I don't get too personal. I only speak the facts. That's what I always gonna see from me on One for the Road. I don't care if it hurt nobody's feelings. It's life. Sometimes your feelings get hurt. The truth hurt. So that's what you go get from me. I just say what I got to say. Like, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, it's just like certain things just the consensus ain't even. But that's why I'm here to try to even this stuff out. So we gotta lift off. But that's to tie that on the bow. Joe Burrow, my 4th ranked quarterback in the league going into this year. And also, I don't care who wanna holler at me about it. That Super Bowl appearance, that like the old Popeyes coupon. It's expired. It ain't gonna get you nothing no more. We ain't. You gotta look out for them the Captain Save or whatever coming through the mail to get another, because that's like that old Popeyes coupon. That Joe Burrow Super Bowl, that's expired. But he's still ranked 4th as the 4th best quarterback in the league. That's here nor there. 5th, I got my boy C.J. Stroud. Yes, sir, C.J. Stroud. I got C.J. Stroud. I'm taking him as my 5th best quarterback in the league right now. Now, like I said, I've been seeing lists off season. Specifically, I took a peek at a couple of them today because I knew what I was coming to do. So I just wanted to have a little bit of gravy to mix in. So a lot of these lists, 5th kind of guy, I'm seeing like a Justin Herbert or more so like a Jaden Daniels. Don't get me wrong. Jaden Daniels, that boy was a super rookie. That boy right there, rookie of the year, whatever you want to call him, hey, he was a dog. Excuse me, that boy there, he pretty much had the best rookie season of all time, at least from a quarterback point of view. I ain't got the stats. Like I said, I ain't got the almanac right next to me, so I can't tell you Jake the Snake Plumber. Nah, I ain't finna do that, but or somebody like Johnny Unitas, Otto Graham, slinging Sammy Ball. No disrespect to nobody. Like but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not looking at the record book, so I can't tell you specifically verbatim. But in my estimation, I like to say in my estimation, yeah, Jaden Daniels for sure had the best quarterback rookie season for damn sure that I ever seen. Like I said, I can't speak for slinging Sammy Ball and all them, but for what I seen, he had the best season. And to some people, that will rank you as a top 5 quarterback in the league, but not to me. Like I said, ain't nothing against him. The boy was good. He ain't do nothing with my boys, though. We ain't going to get into that because we was ass last year. Boy, we won 2 games. We ain't even going to get into that. That was stinky. But I'm a real fan. I'm going to wear my team either way. But, yeah, he ain't do nothing us versus us, but we ain't talking about that. But we probably have a good game. They ain't win, though. We smoked them. But anyways, though, yeah, no, Jaden Daniels, I'm not going to put him 5th. He's a boy. He had a hell of a year, but I'm not going to give him 5th right now. Personally, just because what C.J. Stroud has done has been totally discounted, disrespected. Damn it, I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it because in my mind, C.J. Stroud, 2 years back-to-back now. What was the Texans doing before C.J. Stroud was right there? They was at the top half in the draft, ain't it? Because they weren't good. Like, they weren't good. They had a lot of turmoil, a lot going on. That boy came in as a rookie. He did really what they saying that Jaden Daniels did. Really, C.J. Stroud damn near did that the year before because that's 1A and 1B as far as rookie quarterbacks go. You know what I mean? So CJ really did that. I say Daniels had a better year, but CJ did. He wasn't nothing to sneeze at. He wasn't too far off. He right there. 1A, 1B for the best rookie quarterback season I've ever seen. Follow that up. Mind you, he did get a playoff in. He won a game in the playoff last year, his rookie year. He won a game last year too. Now I ain't gonna lie. I said I ain't gonna be looking stuff up, bro. I ain't gonna be looking stuff up. But for CJ, I'm for this one time because I know I want to say yeah. I want to say he back to back. Yes, sir. Back to back. That's why I know what I'm talking about. That's why I ain't. This is why I say I don't do that look up shit because I already know what I'm talking about. But yeah, CJ won playoff games his first 2 years back in there. They try to say like he had a sophomore slump his second. See, his old line ain't look at his old line, bro. Look at that man old line. He won his division back to back and got in the playoffs and won a game both years. So how was that a sophomore slump? It might ain't look the same in the regular season, but the result and the end was the same. And for this context, from that standpoint, it's like he's a young quarterback, bro. His old line ain't that good. He really made them weapons that surround him. Because we seen what some of them guys looked like before he got there. Now we see how they look now. That's what CJ did. He boosted everybody around him. He ain't had no sophomore slump. He got back in the playoffs and won again. He did it. Whatever he did his first year, he did that the second year. It's a team game. That's a young quarterback. He learned and had to play in the NFL for the first time. This boy ain't no 10-year veteran. He only been playing for 2 years. He went into a situation with hella turmoil and a bad offensive line. And they probably going to be worse this year because they let Laremy Tunsil go. But so he going to be dealing with it again because they got some rookie draft picks on the O-line. They did take them boys out of Iowa State, so they got some more weaponry around them. I would have preferred more beef up front. But either way, look, they got to do what they got to do. CJ's individual performance, in my estimation, garnered him the fifth best quarterback in the league going into this year, man. Like I said, 2 years in a row, this whole season, that take been burning me up. CJ ain't had it this year like he did the last year. It haven't been the same. Nah, man. That boy doing more than what he need to do. The cover is kind of dry down there. If you put another quarterback in there and see what they do. Let alone the first year, second year quarterback. Poll the first and second year quarterbacks in the league right now. Take them. And then, like I said, hypothetical again, but this just to hammer home the point I'm trying to make. Outside of, you want to say, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, he got to do something for me again this season, whatever. First year anyway, so he would have to do something more next year anyway. Caleb Williams, his first season was cool. He did good, but he ain't CJ. I'm trying to think. Drake May, not CJ. I'm just saying, just to name a couple of the young guys. Damn it, Justin Fields. Put him on the Texans these last 2 years and see what he would have did with him as opposed to CJ. If it was a contrast where we can do these type of variable experiments, because then that will really hammer home in some people's mess so they can see how extreme what he's down there doing, or some of these guys to see how great they is. But that's the top 5 list. So we want to see that top 5 list one more time. We're going to run through it. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes, Joe Burrow, he's retiring that damn Super Bowl appearance, and C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud. But, yeah, so we got the MLB All-Star Game going on right now. Home Run Derby finna kick off in a little minute. Junior Caminero, that's who I got winning it. Either that or Matt Olson in his own ballpark. But I'm riding with Junior, though. But, yep, it's baseball season, man. I ain't gonna lie. In my humble opinion, I feel like, I don't know if it's like viewership or just my interest. Everybody different. People like what they like. I've always liked baseball, but specifically over the last couple years, a little nugget into what we might possibly be getting into later. It been maybe even passed up another sports league due to just view power, the young stars and stuff coming up. They stick to their guns in baseball. I know everybody complain about how they need to be more inclusive as far as like integrating a younger generation to the game, and they trying to do that, man. They put the pitch clock in there. They trying to do some things, man. I know they playing with that ball, man. One year they giving up tanks all over the place. Next year you can't hit it. Man, keep us guessing, if anything. I can't say what they doing, but if they doing it, keep me guessing. Damn it, I want to be entertained. But yeah, now baseball has been great this first half of the season. It's been a lot of surprises, a lot of surprises. I promise y'all, I'm not trying to be a homer. I didn't even realized I wore this Florida State pullover today. But that damn big dumper, Cal Raleigh, boy, he had the first half of that season. And they trying to he ain't been undermined. I'm not gonna take it that far. I don't think he been undermined. But I know it's like I don't feel like he getting that full respect he should have as like the undisputed favorite. I don't know. In my opinion, that man is the AL MVP right now. I know what Aaron Judge is doing is otherworldly. Damn it, this might be one of the best hitters we ever seen for sure in my lifetime. Aaron Judge is amazing, bro. He is amazing. Besides Ohtani, he is the best player in the league, bro. We not talking about that, though. For this season, specifically the first half of this season, oh, big dumper, yeah. Cal Raleigh, MVP, AL MVP for me. Something that needs to be said is putting up that offensive production, and he catching his tail off. Nah, how many normally? If you look at the MLB average, batting average. Hold on, we talk about baseball. I'm not gonna let y'all try to make hitting irrelevant in the game of baseball. Getting hits will never be irrelevant in the game of baseball. It's a lot of these fans on Twitter and these analytical dudes and all these gurus and all this ex-woba and all this. Man, look. You will never make getting hits irrelevant. People will try to make, no. It is essential. How are you going to score runs if ain't nobody on base? Now they going to say, but getting a hit ain't the only way to get on base because you could get walked and you can da-da-da. There's other things that consider it to the on-base percentage. Duh. But damn it, the quickest way to get there is getting a hit. Y'all ain't going to never be able to take that away. But back to the point I was making. Catchers, generally, I know for a fact if you look it up, but I know that if I'm pretty sure that if you look up batting percentage in the league right now, MLB catchers gonna have the lowest percentage. It's a batting average. It's a lot of things, just off, not even batting average, because some people don't like that. So I ain't even gonna necessarily say batting average. But most offensive statistical categories, catchers rank near the bottom of the league. Cal Raleigh is having a hell of a season from behind the plate. And he's the best catcher in the league. If he ain't the best, he ain't the third best. He probably second. He's the best catcher in the league, bro. Specifically the first half of this season what we was discussing. So you couple that, what he doing behind the plate, he carrying that team. Literally, he's carrying that team. From his offensive production to how good he is behind the plate with that staff. The Mariners got a hell of a staff, bro. Outside of Castillo, I want to say them all younger guys. So he calling that game for him. He got that pitching staff together. He there for him every day. He elevating their performance. He framed with the best of them. His defensive metrics, he's like, what you want him to do? He's the MVP of the first half. Like I said, I know if Aaron Judge go on to, I don't know, I ain't even going to speak about the dumper potentially doing, no. If Aaron Judge kick it up and keep kicking it and he finish over 400 batting average and 60 tanks or something like that, I don't know. But Dumper got like 38 right now, so he might get it. This is Big Dumper appreciation. So we ain't even going to tell you how great Aaron Judge is right now. We know that already. Big Dumper is the MVP of the AL in the first half. We got other news about. Let me think of some other things on my mind that's been sparking off over this first half. Them Red Sox hot, man. And it's to my chagrin, like they say. Cause man, them Rays, man, I'm not no biased person. I am a Rays fan. I don't want you to ever get it confused. I don't care who I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of the team. I can criticize, critique, whatever, performance. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm a fan of the team because I like watching ball, and that's just who I particularly like watching the most for one reason or another. But don't get it confused. That will never cloud what I got to say about X, Y, and Z, or this, that, and the third, however you want to do it. But, man, them Red Sox been so hot. I want to say they done got about 10, 11 straight. Swept the Rays under the rug. And a lot of people thought they was kind of punting the season when Bregman went down with the injury. Yoshida went down with the injury. They traded Rafi Devers the whole, is he going to play first? Is he going to DH? Is he going to play third? Is he going to do long toss and catch batting practice bullpens? All right, I'm trolling. They didn't have them discussing all that type of stuff. But still, there was a lot of turmoil going on. They decided to go with the young guys, that Roman Harper, that damn Rafi. He did P. Fairbanks wrong the other night. Then he came back with another tank off Pepio, with a 2-run tank, take the lead. Man, we ain't got to get into the specifics. They've been kicking some butt over the last 10, 11 games. They getting hot. Like I said, I know the fans was kind of like worried midway when they had all the turmoil with Rafi going on. You had legends of the team coming to speak out. Pedro Martinez and Big Papi Ortiz going back and forth and all this and that over that stuff, man. But you gotta get at Alex Cora, man. He even had turmoil. They trying to get this man a hard time for going to see his daughter graduation. You people are sick sometimes, man. People got families in real life. Get off that man for you will go see your daughter graduation. That's neither here nor there. If you wasn't, you're a terrible person. But we're not talking about that though. But yeah, man went to go see his daughter graduation. But they've been able to beat the odds and they've been rolling right about now. They wasn't even in content. They wasn't close to contention. Went on the streak. Now they up there in the standings for the wild card. Ohtani's back on the mound pitching. He's been getting like a slow build up over the last little bit. They gave him an inning the first time out. I think he might have won an inning a couple times. I know he won an inning 2, 3. I know he's pitched a full 9 innings. He ain't gave up a run in 8. That first outing, he gave up a run. Since then, he been scoreless. Last 8 innings. I want to say he punched out the last 8, 9 guys he faced. A 1 ERA, so that's like a full game pretty much. You know how they convert the stat. I ain't huge on them analyticals. Like, I know the analytical stats. I ain't a big fan of them. Some of them are, it's good in all of them. It's just like too much. It's like candy for a kid. It could be good. Too much of it is bad. That's how I look at those advanced analytic stats in sports. It can be good, but too much of it is bad. So you don't want it because then you making excuses as to why such and stuff didn't happen. It ain't happen on the field of play. But yeah, man, Ohtani, clear choice for NL MVP right now. He's been doing his thing. You got that Ronald Acuna. He been back since he been back off that injury. That brother been hot, man. And this one thing about that boy, he gon' get on some TikTok live for sure. He gonna be on that TikTok live and do 1,100 celebrations and have 1,100 protective gear on, man. My dog be having shin guard, ankle guard, elbow guard, ear guard, mouth guard, head bone connected to the leg bone, whatever they used to say. But nah, Ronnie's been hot, man. Ronnie's been hot. You had the Mets. They started off, they was the best team. They faltered a little bit. We talked about Ohtani. The Dodgers actually have been struggling, though. I think I want to say they dropped 7 straight. We ain't seen nothing like that. I know before the season they talked about they was gonna run away. You had the Giants surging for a little bit, San Diego surging for a little bit. So NL the NL to say the least definitely is going. I feel like gonna be a tighter contest than the AL this year. You got some teams, man, and the NL man, them guys got horses. The Dodgers hurt right now, but they come back with they full staff. Blake Snell, Glass now, um, Dustin May. He can give you what he give you. Like he when he locked, he locked. Like he spin that ball. Like he right there. I want to see if Roki Sasaki. My bad if I mispronounce his name, but I want to see how if he can give him anything coming back. You know what I mean? Uh, Glass now was back the other day. He'll be back to where he needs to be. So you never know. Tony Gosselin. I don't want to misspeak because I'm not exactly sure about his injury, but like I said, they got guys. Staffs out there. The Phillies, bro. Come on. Zach Wheeler. I ain't trying to be controversial on my first episode, like, so I hope I ain't misspeaking. But bro. Zach Wheeler to me kind of looking like the white Satchel Paige, man. Like I'm saying this in the most respectable way possible. Like that's a compliment. Like I'm just saying like I only know from the highlights and playing on the show. Like he tall, the pitch movements. I know he was dominant. Is all you know what, but man, that's why I be joking around. But that's why I like calling Zach Wheeler the white Satchel Paige. The man is so consistent. He the best pitcher over the last 5 to 8 years, easy. I'm not taking nobody over Zach Wheeler over the last 5 to 8 years. Most times you pull his name out the hat, he gonna go 7 innings, 8, 9 punch outs, 2 or less giving up. He get out the bed with a quality start. Then they roll out who else after that? Ranger Suarez. That man coming from the left side, curveball, whenever you know how he get. Chris Sanchez, former Ray Farmham, pumping them in. Like they got, everybody got some improvements that they can make. Same with the Mets, like they up there too. They got Carter Singer back, Drew Peterson, Clay Holmes. They probably might want to add an arm, but like I said, it's staffs out west and it's lineups out west, man. It's staffs and lineups out there. Padres always gonna be hovering around it, so you never know with them. But MLB is I'm definitely looking forward to the second half of the season. Looking forward to what trades gonna pop off. Like you said, his team's looking a good better. You can't speak about the season and not say the type of belt the Tigers is putting on the AL Central. They like 12 and a half games up, something like that. Like you can't, what they doing is remarkable. That Tyreek Skubal, that's a pitcher, man. He good. Tyreek Skubal, he's good. They got Reese Olsen back, so they gonna compete. They did last year. They was there. They surprised some people in the playoffs. I think they might be ready to take another step this year. Maybe they back of their the bullpen is good. They got bats. I mean, everybody could use another bat and another arm. A starter, they for sure could use a start. They could use another starter. They might be in a market for a starting pitcher, but Tigers, yeah, can't be remiss. I will be remiss, whatever they say, if I didn't mention the Tigers and Brewers. Brewers been streaking this late. I know the Cubs had a sizable lead, but they end up coming back in. They've been playing some hot ball over the season. They got the Miz, Jacob Mizorowski. I don't know about a guy pitching 5 games, making it to the All-Star team, but again, it's something that the league is doing with the young. Like, they trying, man. They trying. It's a good, young, explosive arm. Chris Sanchez, they still gave you the bread, so you're good, bro. You're good. But we're going to wrap up today with the first episode. I kind of want to get into this, and it's something that's been with me, and it's kind of hurting me a little bit because, like I said, I love sports. I've been a lifelong fan of all the game, but just kind of feel like the NBA has been kind of on a little decline. Need to give me a little soundboard, man. It's my first episode. I'm getting used to it. having fun. But yeah, man, like I just feel like overall NBA was a little underwhelming this year. Um, I mean, I don't know where to start. I mean, we could go from the All Star game. The format was terrible, and it's not like a bash session. It's like more of a. It's just like an NBA like decline therapy session. So we can vent. You know what I mean? Experience. You know, maybe somebody might see this, pick something up, take some in consideration. I don't know, but some got to be done, man. Like I said, this season from NBA, it 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 wasn't the best to me, man. It just wasn't the best. Like I said, the All Star game format was bad. I mean, Draymond. Do I have to say anything? I feel like he covered it, and the guys on the TNT crew covered it. Uh, they ain't in business no more. They going, so I don't get no free promo, but I could say that because I don't think they're gonna be doing that, showing that no more. But yeah, man, that was severely underwhelming. I mean, you quite literally had rising stars playing in the All Star game. Like they got their own event. Mm, mm. Just too much is too much. Like over processing it. I feel like that's like the biggest problem with the NBA right now. It's over process. The in season tournament, didn't care about it. Don't know too many people that did, other than the players who won the bread. And everybody be happy for some bread. We ain't count nobody pockets, but still, like just to say, I mean, them was the only people that I felt like was happy with it, or the fan bases of those teams being cool. The court got a design on it, but AAU basketball do too. That don't mean it's always good basketball. I know y'all seen some of them 12 and 13 U games with the restaurant logo looking uniforms, but we ain't getting into that. Traumatized, but still, yeah, man. I just feel like it was underwhelming. Like All Star game, underwhelming. Didn't really care. In season tournament, underwhelming. Didn't really care. And this is the sentiment not just for me because like I know I got friends, I got people I talk to. I'm online. I love sports, so I'm reading content and stuff all day long. People didn't really too much care about it. The playoffs normally during the NBA season, like with all the stuff that's going on, load management, like just like how the game is played today. Um, I don't know if you want to say like more so like the foul baiting or just a lot of 3-point shots. My gripe, not exactly with how the game is played. I'm just speaking on some things that people have said. So those are just some issues and concerns with that. But it was issues with that. But just in my opinion, normally the time of the year NBA kicks up is the playoffs. And I could say like overall the playoff product was definitely better, but it just better than the regular season, which I didn't think the product was exactly the best. So it is a step up. I can't give credit when it's due. Definitely a step up. Players playing harder and stuff, but it's just not what it used to be. It ain't the NBA I loved growing up watching. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people feel like that. Granted, I'm not even 30, and I'm talking about like the NBA I grew up watching. But I mean, I almost am. So I've been watching for a while, but still, like I sound like my pop or somebody else like older than me, but they would say the same thing. It ain't the game that they love. So if it ain't my game I grew up loving, which was the Kobe, Iverson, early LeBron, T-Mac, even like my earliest memories, like, you know, Jordan was still in there a little bit. You got guys like Latrell Sprewell and Marbury, Steve Francis. I don't know, is Mark Price still playing? I've been, like I said, I've probably been watching basketball since like 97, probably. Like 1997, 98-ish, 99-ish in that wheelhouse. But still, they just ain't the same game. So if I'm saying that, and it's only a context within 25 years, imagine what, like, you know what I mean? And everything got to grow in advance, and it did, because you got to think about it. The game used to literally be on tape delay. Like my pop told me when he used to watch the games when he was younger, it wasn't even live. Like they used to tape the games, you watched it the next day. So yes, the game has grown tremendously. I just think the last couple of years we taken a step back with the I can kind of put my finger on it, which I'm gonna get to in the end, but I just want to highlight some of the things that I feel like has been a kind of down or a step down. But yeah, like I said, the playoffs was a little bit better this year, but it just like that feeling is just not the same. I'm not sure if it's like, I mean, granted, Steph, LeBron, KD, the pillars of the league weren't in the playoffs, and that's good for the game from the standpoint of like the game is growing. We got a lot of young superstars out there, Wemby and um, Shea. I could name them. Like we all know these guys. Luca. Yeah. So the star power is there. I just don't feel like the overall something's missing. I'm like I don't. It's two things. One, the biggest thing in my estimation Adam Silver just ain't David Stern, and we can't make him David Stern. He got to be his own man. But for so long, that product we seen was pushed, provided through David Stern. Even the years after, it's like waning off of him. So some of the things and stuff he put in place, and I just don't. I don't. Him and Adam Silver are two different kind of guys. Like I don't want to say Adam Silver corny, but like David Stern just seemed like a cool guy to me. Like you always hear the players, you would see David Stern kicking it like All-Star games. He just looked like somebody you want to go up to and fist bump. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah. You see Adam Silver, like, I don't know, like, if I get in a jam, I'm calling you for some lawyer help, bro. Like, and it's no disrespect to the man. Like I said, like just the vibes, like the aura. That's what they say now. These kids, the aura, whatever. Like it just overall. So I like his ideologies and just the stuff he think. I mean, this is my theory. Like I said, I think it's kind of a little corny. So some of the stuff he's coming up with, like the end season tournament and play in and all this over processing is just like, bro, we don't need it. The play in ain't necessary. If you ain't good enough through them 82 games, damn it, you don't need to be in the playoffs. Like I guess it's they trying to do more to get eyes, but again, like I said, it's just to the point of over processing to me, and it is watering the game down. I'm not the only one saying it. And it's that's the big number one key. I feel like it's over processing the game and watering it down. Then the I don't know if how it shook out due to injuries or just the East West but just the competitive balance of those games. Growing up in the playoffs, watching those NBA Finals games, bro, even the cinema, just a couple LeBron and stuff, like it just I don't know, something is missing. It seemed like you can pencil in watching the NBA Finals nowadays. Like, okay, first game going to be a blowout. The next game, the other team going to blow out. The next game, the other team going to blow out. All right, it's going to be a close on game 3. All right, blowout. Game 6 close. All right, blowout. Game 7. Like, it just seems predictable from that standpoint. Like, the viewer power is just not – the NBA Finals, I would say, this year, I'm not trying to poop on nothing. A couple of the games had me, like, locked. You lying to yourself if you saying that a couple games of the NBA Finals weren't snoozers. Even when LeBron was getting built, and that's kind of in David Stern era, but just like, it wasn't no snoozer though. Like, it just seemed like I don't know. I could say like the last couple years, again, I was hanging my hat on the fact like, okay, once it gets to the playoffs, the product's getting better. Because it has, and it's kept my, my kept me on the even up with it to the point where it's like, okay, whatever. I ain't really have doubts. But like after this season though, I just didn't have that same feeling. And I felt like that sentiment was shared by not just me, others. We'll see, man, going into it. I mean, it's just like even now with how the team's being built, the apron rule, the super teams are a little bit less, so I guess you would think it. But I don't know. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. I can't put my finger on it. Those are just two things that I think possibly might be it. But like I said, I really don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. But that's what we do here on One for the Road. Or that's what I do here on One for the Road. Or if I got a guest with me, that's what we do on One for the Road. We just say what we thinking and how we feeling. Then we deal with the rest after the fact. But I appreciate y'all, man, for coming along with me on this journey for the first one. We'll be back in a minute for some more, but hey, as always, it's always one for the road on the way out.